Welcome to today's episode of Puppy Talks by Kopi Lobang, Canine Coordinates, navigating pet tracking with Tack GPS, where the world of technology meets man's best friend. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating intersection of innovative tech and canine companionship. In this episode, we're exploring the pet tracking, a game-changing device that promises to revolutionize how we keep tabs on our four-legged friends. Joining us today is the creator behind Tack GPS, Mr. Zhang. First up, for our brilliant minds behind Tack GPS, can you share the inspiration behind creating this game-changing device? What fueled the idea, and how does it align with your vision for pet safety and well-being?
As a company, we are founded by a few industry veterans in the mobile industry, and we realized that in this world that we have a lot of things we care, especially pets these days is our second child in a sense. And we realize a lot of times when we don't know where they are, we get worried. And sometimes they do escape. Some of our little furry buddies are pretty good escaping artists. So we do need to keep a tab of where they are. That actually gives us an idea, say, how do we, having devices, technology to help us. And that's where we start to working on different kind of technology to help us to keep track of people and things that we love. When I bring my dog out for fun, I want to be able to have the peace of mind that just in case, if it does goes by itself somewhere else, there's a way for me to quickly retrieve or find my fairy buddies, right? So that's really all these things we see in the market and the things we hear from the users, giving us that inspiration idea to create something that helps the pet owners.
Asterisk technical insights. What kind of technology is behind the pet tracking GPS system?
So even when you search for GPS trackers on the market, they're actually very noisy. You see all kinds of different devices. But as a real GPS tracker or real tracker, what it requires is a little bit complicated. Because first of all, this device needs to be able to figure out its own location all by itself. Secondly, it needs to be able to send its location back to you by itself. And these are all the important things you need to, as a pet owner, who are looking for a GPS tracker, you need to understand what you're looking for, what are the criteria, right? So in a GPS tracker or in a pop-up trackers, you will need a lot of technology. For example, you certainly need a real GPS chip inside there, because you cannot rely on another phone or something else to give you the location, right? So the device need to be able to figure out its location independently, just in case your dog is actually hiding at the corner of the park and there's nobody passing by, there's no other things nearby, right? So it has to be able to figure out location by itself. On top of that, you also need to be able to transmit the location back to you all by itself. Again, as I mentioned, it has to be independent, because you cannot, when something is lost, you cannot hoping that there will be iPhones or Samsung phones just next to it, wait for it to transmit the information back to you. And the other thing you also need to look into is that this device need to work both indoor and outdoor, especially in an environment like Singapore, a very urban environments. A lot of times our pet, when they get lost, they're probably hiding at some corner of the block or some staircase ways. A lot of GPS tracker out there. If you find some trackers online, you need to see whether it works indoor or not. And many trackers don't. They're just a purely outdoor GPS. So all these things are the things you need to really look at and say, hey, I want to get a tracker. So you need to ask, does it work indoor and outdoor? Does it have its own location capabilities? Does it has its own transmission capability to send the information back to you, right? See, these are the informations. And one last thing you may need to take a look is that sometimes, maybe in case you say you bring your dog travels to outside places, right? And these days happen a lot to some of the pet owner does bring that dog to travel out overseas, right? So you also need to know, hey, does the tracker work overseas or not, right? So these are the few things you need to look into. Then once you find a device which will fulfill these few things, the next thing you need to look at is, okay, so what kind of service the company provides to me. Is there a local, say, warranty support, service support, right? Do I need to get my own SIM card? Do I need to like sign a SIM card from an operator and sign another service from this company? Then it has become very troublesome to manage, right? So these are the things like generally a good independent tracker usually requires its own built-in SIM card because it requires to be able to transmit the information back to you independently. And then you need to look at what kind of subscription package is available, how expensive or affordable it is. Right? So basically, I think these are the couple of things you need to look at it. Say location capability, transmission capability, indoor and outdoor capability, and then the fees involved. So in our device, though you look at a little device like this, it actually has all the wireless technology from your phone, from your smartphone, all built into this. So no matter it's like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, even the 4G connectivity, everything is built into this. Imagine the smartphone is actually shrunk to this size and just do without the screen, right? So it's actually not easy to create a really good, fully independent GPS tracker. That's a challenge involved, and we actually made it happen. That was a pretty interesting journey, I have to say. And I think one last thing, and I need to highlight, and it's very important to any pet owner, is that you have to check what's the real battery life of the device. Because as I mentioned just now in the early example, the last thing you want to do is that before you bring your dog out, you realize the tracker is out of battery, right? So not only is the tracker need to be independently transmission location back to you anytime it needs to, you also need to make sure that the tracker is actually working with battery life inside there, right? So these are things you truly need to look into before you get a tracker.
Asterisk user experience. How easy is it for pet owners to set up and use pet tracking?
We actually look into this in a lot of details before we even design the product, because a lot of times we realize, okay, do I need to like on my Bluetooth on phone, go through some interfaces, pair the device? A lot of users just lost along the way, right? Then they press here, press there, then figure out, okay, so how do I pair? So we actually make it really easy. So first thing is, we actually have a QR code at the back. So all you need to do is, so all you need to do is, after you download our app, okay, so for maybe it's hard for consumer to see, but if you download our app and there's say an ad tracker tab at there, so all you need to do, there's actually a scanning interface. You can see that there's a scanning interface, and you can actually scan the QR code, right? So once you scan the QR code and just say add, and that's it. So we make it really super simple. There's no tedious setting of Bluetooth, etc., right? So just go into the app. Obviously, you need to register account. Go into the app, then say add device, and scan the QR code. Once the interface says, okay, scan successful, it's added, then you just need to press a little button here to turn it on, and you're done. I don't think it can be simpler than that, frankly.
Yeah, very simple.
Then, obviously, for a pet, we also provide. So on the device itself, we supply with the lanyard in the box, so you can like hang on certain things or tie on other stuff and so on. But for pet owners, it's very important to be able to wear on a harness or on the collar and so on. So there's an optional accessory, this little fabric case itself. So with this fabric case, obviously the device goes into the case, and at the back there's actually this Velcro itself. It's flexible enough that no matter your harness is it's a big one or it's a narrow collar and so on, you can just slot it in and then just tie it, and that's it. So now you have your little friend wearing it, and it's very light. The whole device is only 30 grams. So unless your dog or your cat is tiny, I won't recommend it for anything which is less than 2 kg. Any pet which is smaller than 2 kg. So generally, most of our pet, even the smaller pet, generally is 4-5 kg to like big ones like 10-20 kg, right? So for those size of pets, they will have no problem wearing this at all. After the first few seconds, they'll just get used to it and they just walk around with it as if nothing has happened.
Asterisk future outlook. Are there any exciting developments or features on the pipeline for Tack GPS?
Yeah, so You know, the interesting part is that many of our users are telling us, okay, so now I have this device and set up my phone, I can see where it is. But how about sometimes I need to ask my helper or ask my friend to also help me to monitor where he is, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe in like when it goes missing, I need to kind of ask more friends to be able to help me to find my pet together. Uh, Another request from our users is that, hey, now I can have my pet being tracked, and maybe I have a young kid. I also want
Yeah.
to be able to see in the same app, and maybe I have say elder parent or my even my loved ones. Sometimes I just want to like let's share the location together, so it's easier for us to say know where each other is and to be able to meet up easily and so on. So we just launched a new app called Our Sphere. So it's the app actually I showed you just now. This little app itself that we kind of like let people to be able to do a couple important things. One is they are able to so with this new app, they can do more things than the usual pet tracking app you see from the market. So first, you are able to like share the tracker location with another person. So you add a guest to the tracker, right? So say for example, my dog itself, I can say, hey, let me add a guest user on the app to my dog's tracker. So other people say whether it's my brother or my friend to be able to see my dog at the same time when we're searching for it and so on. And then another person who's using our Sphere app, you can even add them into the same sphere. Then you can also see each other's location. For example, you and your friend traveling overseas together with your dog, just a
Yeah.
scenario. Then you all can see each other in the app itself and together with your dog, all in the same app. So it will be very, very useful.
As we wrap up today's episode of Canine Coordinates, Navigating Tack GPS with Kopi Lobang Puppy Talks, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our incredible guest, Mr. Justin Zhang, from Tack GPS. To our listeners, I hope today's conversation has inspired you as much as it has inspired us. Thank you once again, Mr. Zhang, for joining us and sharing your passion and vision. And to everyone tuning in, remember to hug your pets a little tighter tonight, and consider how the wonders of technology can further enrich your adventures together. Until next time, goodbye.